Easy as either join you. One is fear, right? And it's so important for us to understand and realize that we only fear Allah. We only fear God. We don't have anything else to fear. All right? Go ahead, good brother.
I remember back in the day when I was a kid, they used to have these air raid sirens just to go off.
Oh yeah, I remember.
You know, everybody all. I mean, I was a little kid and was scared.
Yeah. This is the game. They get us with fear. The fear of terrorism. We've been giving up all our rights and everything, right? Because that's what they did. They used the event of 9/11 to create this fear of terrorism. So then all they had to do was say, "Oh yeah, well it's purple. I mean it's orange today. Is a real big threat," and they would get people scared. You know, so it's all about fear. Okay.
Poison gas, torture chambers, mass graves,
deadly technologies,
radical ideology of hate,
terror of threats, terror,
war on terrorism, war against terrorism,
global war on terror,
Intimidation, as you said. Entertain. Distract the population from important information with non-stop bread and circuses, and exploit tragedies to impose the will of the state. Okay.
What's non-stop bread?
Say it again.
What does non-stop bread mean?
Bread and circus.
Just it's like just stuff to kind of keep your mind off of things. That's a little statement I heard people use before.
Like basketball wives.
Like
Basketball
back in the
wives,
Roman
all
days
that.
when they would have like the gladiators and all that, they would throw like bread to the crowd, like loaves of bread, you know, and people go crazy. Yeah, you know.
Well, I remember when we were kids, we used to have this guy used to come past the elementary school and throw money over the gate. He called the money man.
Money man.
The kids would go crazy.
Congresswoman, let me interrupt you just for a moment. We've got some breaking news out of Miami.
Now they talk about supposedly some important stuff going on, but some breaking news come out of Miami. Watch what it is. This is an example of bread and circus. Watch.
You know, right now in Miami, Justin Bieber has been arrested on a number of charges. Never waste a good crisis.
Listen to what she said. Never waste a good crisis. Exploit tragedies to impose the will of the state. And that's what they did. That whole 9/11 thing, they did that. And now they have everybody believing their story of what happened, which was a lie. Go ahead.
Speaking of that, with her and Bill Clinton, they set up something after the earthquakes in Haiti. They have if you go to YouTube, there's a video called "Meet the Clintons," and they show you how they exploited their country with different charities and things that they set up, and was collecting money and things like this, but it wasn't going to
Where was
the
it?
people. Yeah, it's real interesting.
Yeah.
Meet the Clintons on
Go ahead.
YouTube.
That reminds me of this movie that my uncle and I like to talk about a lot called Wag the Dog.
Yeah.
And it's very funny because back in the day I was a kid. You know, I was just like, okay, this is a good movie. I mean, this is a movie, whatever. But now you
That's
see how it's actually happening a lot now. Like, you know, for those who haven't seen it, I don't know if everyone's seen it, but basically it was about
the Clinton situation.
Yeah, it was like a big scandal going on. So
Right.
they said, hey, I'm running for president. So what they did was they went to a movie studio and said, hey guys, can you make a fake war go on? And put it on TV to distract what was really going on so people can forget about what the president just did. And
That's what it is. It's called misdirection. It's what magicians use. It's what magicians use, right?
It's interesting. Part of my life, Chelsea Clinton is the only person I've ever met that has parents that were in that world. She went to Stanford when I was there.
Wow.
And it's interesting to see someone that now she's a little different because she's on TV, but she was actually pretty humble, like Chelsea herself. Her bodyguards were in plain clothes. 2 of them were black, 2 of them were white, and they actually just blended in to the classroom setting. And she sat literally right here. And I know a lot of the stuff that her parents did, and I actually had empathy for her because some of it she doesn't know, and some of it she does, some of it she has no control over. It was just an eye-opening moment for me. And Clinton himself became governor at like 36, and to see like how he's viewed is different than who he actually is, and that's why I want to take this class, because you can create a narrative that doesn't even have to be true.
Yeah, but that's what they do all the time. They always create these illusions. It's funny because when you mention something about Haiti, Israel was over there taking people's organs.
Yeah,
They found a
right.
box of eyeballs and everything.
Oh, that goes on a lot in Africa and all these countries. Yeah.
They really exploit them.
Yeah, 'cause they also exploited us for charcoal. So after the earthquakes, they got a lot of money in aid. But if you go to Haiti right now, it's still
A mess.
situation.
It's horrible.
Right.
Yeah, so what they
Right.
did was they took a lot of trees and forestry, and because Haiti is a really big coal mining country, so they exploited it for that. And like I never knew this, but you can make coal out of almost anything. Man, coconuts, tree bark, all type of stuff. Coconuts like one of the best type of charcoals you can buy. So they basically just turned it into an exploitation land. Cut all the trees and try to blame it on earthquake. Like,
Oh
all
my
these trees are
goodness.
down because of earthquake. Like, how the earthquake burn trees?
See, that's the other thing that you got to think about too, is because they actually have what they call tectonic weapons, where they can actually cause earthquakes. Okay, so it's deep because they can actually manipulate the weather also.
It's called HARP.
Right, HARP. But no, I have another video where they showed NASA would made these cloud machines, and they were shooting stuff up in the air, hydrogen and oxygen, and caused it to rain.
Yeah, it's with sound.
Yeah,
I saw that. It was on a Top Gear.
yeah.
The guy from Top Gear was on that. It's
Yeah.
a big machine, and it's like big speakers, and they make so much noise
Yep.
that it creates a sound cloud. The sound cloud comes out of the side of it,
Yeah.
and it creates rain right there. But it's not raining like a mile away.
It's deep.
They are unreal.
It's deep. But see, that's the thing. They're using technology to try to be God. Okay, that's what they.
Yep.
That's why your phones, everything your text messages, your emails, your telephone conversations, all of that, because they want to be all seeing, all knowing. Okay, so it's deep. It's deep. But we're gonna get into some stuff tonight. Hold on. All right.
Never want a serious crisis to go to waste.
Body count. Use the media to create a paradigm of 2 narratives for every major political issue to keep the people fighting with each other. Right? Nearly every debate has been turned into a 2-paradigm debate. Okay? Pro-gun or anti-gun, pro-vaccine or anti-vaccine, pro-cop or anti-cop, Black Lives Matter or all lives matter, pro-choice or pro-life, pro-war or isolation units, Republican or Democrat. The media sets the paradigm, never breaks it. And this is absolutely true.
That's true.
And the thing is
Right.
that when we talk about, we always get into the thing about voting, right? But it's just 2 sides of the same coin with the Democrats and Republicans. It's the same coin. You're going to vote for their agenda either way. George Carlin said you can get 36 different flavors of ice cream from Baskin Robbins, but you only got 2 political parties. Doesn't make sense. Okay, and they control those 2 parties.
Fucking crazy, man. You sound insane. Do you realize that? You should be medicated.
So think about it. Think about when you get those third parties that come in and try to establish a third political party. This is actually dismissed and almost demonized.
Get wiped out quick.
Yeah. You might get 1 or 2, it might get lucky. So this next piece I want you to see is this. How the elites control the masses in the propaganda world.
Their whole purpose throughout.
Listen to what he's. This isn't the whole speech that he gave, but it's a powerful speech that he gives in this particular. This is just a clipping of it. All right. One day I'll show you the full thing, so you can really appreciate what he was saying. But remember, this is the guy that did the book "Behold the Pale Horse." All right, and he was killed. They killed him. They actually came on his property and killed him.
Has been to teach a small number of people how to become adept at controlling everyone else. Their goal is to destroy all existing religions save theirs, all existing governments save theirs, and shackle the mob in a system of eternal oppressive debt chained to a computer for the rest of their life, and a propagandized world to make them believe that they are happy in this system. Now, do you think they're succeeding? Haven't I described to you just now exactly what is going on in the world today? Yes, they're succeeding. They're succeeding because the American people don't understand their enemy. They don't even know what's happening. There's a method to their madness. There's really not much.
What year was that?
This was like maybe late 80s, early 90s. But see, the thing is that once you start to see pieces of the puzzle, you can start putting things together. But this guy, he was putting together a lot of
How did they kill
things.
him?
Shot him. They shot him.
They ain't waste no time with it.
They waste no time. But he was the one that also told people about 9/11, just like Aaron Russo. He told them about maybe about 9 months before it happened. So the thing is that people that start to understand what's happening, what they're doing, they take them out. Or what they do is try to assassinate their character. And they can really do it now with these phones and these computers, because they can track everything that you do. They told, years ago, they told Martin Luther King that he might as well commit suicide. FBI told him he might as well commit suicide because they were going right, because he was cheating on his wife and stuff. Right. There was a scene in the Malcolm X movie where the FBI guys, they're listening on Malcolm X and they say, oh, this guy's a saint compared to King.
I remember that. Yep.
Right?
I remember that. I caught it.
So that's the game. They were tapping his phone, but now they have everything. They can blackmail you any way they want if you try to speak out against the system. So let's go here. I want you to see this thing.
Their whole purpose to.
Now, Operation Dumb Down Society. All right. There was a woman named Charlotte Iserbyt, and she wrote a book entitled "The Deliberate Dumbing Down of America." All right. So they're trying to dumb us down. All right. So look at the education system. As we talked before, the education system is not about educating your child. It's about indoctrinating them into the system. All right? Watch. This piece that this guy starts off very interesting.
Listen to me very carefully. We're seeing a society that not only has a lot more people of lower IQ, but a lot fewer people of higher IQ. In other words, a dumbing down, a chemical dumbing down of society. So everyone's sort of mediocre. That leaves them dependent on government because they can't excel. We have these people of lower IQ who are totally dependent. Then we have this mass of people who are going to believe anything they're told because they can't really think clearly. And very few people of very high IQ who have good cognitive function who can figure this all out. And that's what they want. So, you know, you can kind of piece it together as to why are they so insistent in spending so many hundreds of millions of dollars of propaganda money to dumb down society?
Think about it. What's the main ingredient in rat poison?
Arsenic.
Rat poison.
Is it arsenic?
Cyanide?
Fluoride.
Fluoride, I've heard of that.
Fluoride.
Gee.
Right? It's in the toothpaste.
Yep.
Now, the way that you can tell that this is true, look on the back of your toothpaste. What does it say?
Very
No.
small amount.
Only use a pea-sized amount.
That's
Right? It says if you consume more than a pea-sized amount, then do what? Contact the poison control center. Right?
Hey, Rashid, I got a story for you.
Go ahead, brother.
If somebody close to me told me, right?
Mm.
So they was born and raised in a project down West Philly. And this is what they said. So their teeth was messed up. It was like black and stuff. And this is what they told me. They said that however they did it, somehow they found out that they actually were putting fluoride in their water system because they said that the people wasn't taking care of their teeth, so they was just kind of experimenting. And I don't know how long they was doing it, but I mean, I knew it was close to, right? That's why their teeth was black.
It's called fluorosis.
Yeah.
Damages the teeth severely.
And if you think about it like that, so they got so much control over like something like a housing project that they can actually go in there and they can do something to tap that water that all those people was drinking.
Yeah, but see, Pennsylvania fluoridates their water. See, the thing is this. But it's funny because Harvard did a study on fluoride years ago and found out it lowers people's IQ. But fluoridate, but I mean, you got to think about it.
It also pacifies you.
Right.
They used it in concentration camps.
They did it exactly. Hitler used it too. All right. So the thing is that if this affects your body that way, then why are you fluoridating the water? Because you're drinking water constantly.
And they sold the idea that it was good for you in your toothpaste. It fortified your teeth and all this.
Yeah. See, so something's going on. We don't see what's going on. And the thing is that your skin is the biggest organ on your body.
That's right.
So you get in the shower, you taking it in more. So something's not right. Okay? And check it out here.
You belong to me. You're not gonna have your mommies run behind you anymore and wipe your little douches. No more complaining. No more Mr. Kimball have to go to the bathroom. Nothing. There is no bathroom.
In 1879, Wilhelm Wundt, the father of psychology, decided that man had no soul. Man was just a stimulus response animal with no self-determinism. He needed to be trained like any other animal. Supply the correct stimulus, you get the correct response.
And the lady that wrote the book, The Deliberate Dumbing Down of America, she warned. She said she was actually she was involved with President Reagan's educational. So she got to see a chance to see a lot of things, and she said when education starts to become training, you're in trouble, and that's what it is now. It's training.
Just a test.
Yeah, it's training.
So are dogs. In the early 1900s, Teachers College taught teachers the new science of psychology. These new methods of teaching would devalue academics and concentrate on behavioral techniques to mold children's values. Schools would be turned into mini psych clinics. The Rockefeller Foundation backed Teachers College and new educators like Edward Lee Thorndike, James Earl Russell, and John Dewey, who were disciples of Wundt. Together they rewrote textbooks and curriculum for the new American education system.
This is what Rockefeller said. I don't want a nation of thinkers. I want a nation of workers. Okay? And that's what's happening.
That guy Rockefeller, so my daughter, youngest daughter, she going history, reading about him now, the time he came around, that guy
something else.
Ruthless. I mean, this guy was, they had him in front of the Congress many a time. They had to make laws around this cat was ruthless.
But they still are. They still are.
Who got away from learning to sound out words using a method called phonics. It was old and too difficult, they said. They now use a new method.
So they didn't want kids to be able to sound out words so that they can be independent readers. So they got rid of phonics. Okay?
Look, see, or whole word. All you had to do was recognize words by the way they looked instead of learning to sound them out. And even though reading levels took a nosedive, they continued to push these new methods. They hired professional educators that believed history and geography were unnecessary burdens on young minds. Children should concentrate more on how they feel about history rather than memorizing unnecessary facts. And most importantly, the teachers and counselors should be the ones to teach moral values to the children, not the children's own parents.
Hear that? The job of the school was to teach the kids morals and values.
This is a request for prayer. I'm dealing with a lot of young people that are like suicidally depressed. It's more prevalent than you would never imagine.
Yes.
And what I'm processing now in this moment is, what do we do now? Because it seems like we're at the end of the stream and things are going on upstream, and I'm trying to like catch people out of the water before they drown.
The thing is this, it's like each person has to win that individual battle against the system. This system is wicked, and like I said, tonight we're going to get into just seeing just how wicked it is. But the thing is that, you know, the most important thing is to start instilling a belief in God in our children. Okay? Because when you take on those morals and those values, those teachings given to us by our Creator, it protects you from this system that's out there. Think about it. If you don't commit if you don't fornicate, then what? You don't have an unwanted pregnancy, or you don't get any kind of diseases or anything. If you don't commit adultery, you don't destroy a family, because that's what happens as a result of adultery. You break up a family, you destroy a family. If you don't lie, people will trust you. They can believe what you say. If you don't steal, people will welcome you into their home. So the thing is that this is an armor of protection that Allah has given us to live a life comfortable, you know, with each other. But this system goes against everything that Allah has put in place. Think about it. They had a show on called Scandal. The heroine was a what? An adulteress. Okay? So it's a lot of things that's going on, but we're going to take a couple of peeks at some of this stuff, all right?
Professionals.
The family is now one of the major obstacles to improved health, mental health, and hence should be weakened. Okay? So they wanted to break up the family. And that's what Aaron Russo was telling you, that the Rockefeller guy told him about women's lib. That it was about getting the woman out of the home. They didn't care anything about women's rights. They wanted to get the women out of the home so they can get the kids earlier and they can break up the family. So they can instill their beliefs and their ideas into our children. And that's what's happening. It happened. And it continues to happen because there's no fight in us.
It seems like it happened. I'm young. I'm fairly young. I'm 39. Education was much better when I was in high school. It seems like something really, really dramatically happened in the past 20 years.
Well, there's a lot going on. You got to look at the programming. You have to look at the thing of morals and values. How you going to educate a child if you can't keep the child in the seat? Okay, so the morals is the respect for education, the respect for teachers, and all that stuff. It's gone. Go ahead, good brother.
I think it's also with demographics as well, because within the school district, you may learn one set of curriculum, and then in a different school district. And I can just tell you, for example, I went to school in Philadelphia School District, and I went to school in California. And we were learning about stock markets when I was like in 4th, 5th grade. And it wasn't like to learn, but it was like an exercise. It was like, hey, this is something to do. Or, but then when I came to Philadelphia, we just put baking soda and vinegar made volcanoes. Right. You know what I'm saying? Right. So it was like, and I think it's totally different. And then also, I mean, even cursive. They don't even teach cursive.
They don't teach.
They don't teach long division anymore.
Well, that's because with this computerized society, you don't need cursive. So
when you go sign a loan document, people gonna be, it's okay, sign your name, and then you're right.
You can do it on the
They're not
computer.
printing it. You ain't like, well, sign my name, what are you talking about, sign my name? So then, cause that's all being, making things layman, because, I used to be in finance, and when you used to apply for a mortgage, it used to be this big. Now, so many people sue, so many people have been dumbed down, it's this big, because now you have to tell people, you have to actually tell people, hey, if you don't pay a mortgage, we're gonna foreclose. You used to have to say stuff like that. And, if you, hey, after 30 days, you're gonna get a late fee. You have, like nowadays, you have to teach people, even the smallest things, they're getting dumbed down, so eventually, it's just something that's mundane, that's not learning cursive anymore in school, can grow substantially to other things. So now you don't know hardly anything.
Right.
It's like, you're using your phone to do math.
And when you said something for mortgage, it made me think of this guy who was talking to an elitist, and the elitist said to him, he said, what do you think real estate taxes for? The guy was like, it's for the schools and stuff, right? He started laughing at him. He said, no, it's not for that. He said, real estate taxes so that you never own your home. Think about it.
Right.
Because if you don't pay your taxes,
they come take your home.
So you become a renter forever. Okay? So these are the things that these people know about. We have no clue. We have no idea. All right? But watch this.
1865, passage of the Elementary and Secondary Education Act. The number of educational psychologists in schools rise from 455 in 1969 to 16,146 in 1992. Probably just coincidentally, the number of child murderers and suicides skyrocketed as well.
And see, some of this with the suicide, the suicidal thoughts and all of that stuff comes from a lot of the programming too. They had a show on Netflix called 13 Reasons Why. And it was pushing revenge suicide. Okay? And then you had people that were kids. I mean, I've talked to kids that were, damaging themselves, cutting themselves. And these are black kids. Like, huh?
Right. Hey, Brother Rashid, so what's revenge suicide? What's that?
It's kind of like if somebody does something to you, I'll get you back by committing suicide.
Killing myself.
Just a manipulation.
And telling people like, hey, the reason why I did this is because John bullied me.
Yeah.
This is the reason why I killed myself. So then John's family's supposed to feel like crap. John's supposed to feel like crap now
It's
because
manipulation.
John's the reason why.
And the crazy thing is, it was on Netflix. I think it's probably on about the 3rd season now. And they had to start putting a warning disclaimer on it because the kids were actually committing suicide behind the stuff that they were seeing on this show. Okay.
Certain members of the government were overjoyed with this new form of education, controlling the behavior of people, keeping them dumb. They could pass any laws they wanted.
Look at that article. CIA infiltrated 17 area groups, gave out LSD.
Even though. Now the program was complete. Dumb them down, fill them with drugs, then indoctrinate them with facts they no longer have the power to refute.
Dumb them down, fill them with drugs. That's what it is. Think about the clip from the movie The Godfather. When you had the meeting of the 5 families, they were sitting around the table. And they were talking about, put it in the black people's neighborhood. Okay?
Right.
So the thing is, but what we also have to do is not recognize some of these newer drugs. Newer drugs, phones.
It's addictive.
Digital heroin. That's what they call it. Digital heroin.